Mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check, 1 2. This is I see it moving now, but this is not what I want. You can hear me right now. Can you hear me right now? All right, now I'll use this mic right now until I can figure out my other mic. It's this mic, whatever is not working. It's not coming in right now. It's just the mic for my camera that's picking it up right now. But I can see that's working. So we'll go with this for now, and then we'll go back later on and stuff like that. All right. So yeah. So this is obviously I was saying this is a stream. It's about theories, and it's also about Q&A, you calling us and everything else, calling in and asking theories and me going over and everything else like that. So when it goes on like that, I had a guest that was supposed to be here. She is living in Germany, so it's actually it's midnight time, though this is the time she picked. It's quite possible she could have fell asleep. So what I was going to talk about was she had a bunch of theories and she wanted to come on and talk about it, but it's quite possible she could be sleeping right now. All right, so we're just gonna have to go with what we have, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go with everything that we talk about and everything else, and a lot of it will be with you, the people. So let's say about the people that are here in the building rocking with us right now. Luna is what's going on. A little glitchy with the visual. I don't know why it looks fine to me, but we'll see how it plays out. What up to Percy Garcia is up in the building. John Haymaker is in here. Emily Siegel is back up in this building. Big Daddy is up in this place rocking with us right now. What up to everybody who came out here to chill with me and to rock and to hear this. So I'm going to go over this one theory someone left on my comment. We'll take a look at that real quick. I'll read exactly what it said. This is from Laundry, is the name of the person who put that Laundry S. And he says this. He says, just last episode shows Tabitha. I guess last episode means the last episode of the series is what he's going for here, right? So episode 10 is what he's saying. It said just last episode shows Tabitha falling into the ground. The wall had 1596 and other dates, which explains how long the creature's been in existence. The wall also shows the lighthouse and people on boats. Before the fallen tree on the road, he believes people was abducted by the lighthouse since cars and roads was not in existence. So let's go with that right off the bat. Here's two-part. We'll keep it going. So he believes that back in the day that they were doing this way before cars was on. And since they were doing this before cars were on, they're saying that people used lighthouse. That was the car in the road, was the lighthouse. And when this lighthouse came on there and everything, that is what that's what they used to abduct people. I mean, I could see that happening. I mean, if you want to go back that far and say that that's what was going on, that they were abducting people since way back then they had to get them over there somehow. It is possible that they were abducting people from ships, and that a lighthouse could be the way. That lighthouse, that they showed the lighthouse and ships would see it, and they would sail towards the lighthouse, and then all of a sudden they would be abducted because of the lighthouse. They get stuck in the town where they were at because of the lighthouse. So I could see that going on. I could definitely see that being a possibility, 100%. Let's go on with his theory. He says that he says far-fetched theory is that these aliens were fed upon by vampires. This explains Grandma hovering in the air, season 2, episode 1. So he's saying that they were aliens, and these aliens were then fed upon by vampires. That vampires captured these aliens and started eating them, and that is why they can hover. He's saying this explains Grandma hovering in the air. Aliens don't fly. Aliens are blooded, War of the Worlds. I believe they are mutations between vampire and alien. So I don't know. Now, first, was Grandma, when she went to kill the girl, was she flying or was she standing on top of something? That I'm not exactly sure. I thought that she was standing on top of something. I didn't know if she was flying up there, just hovering by the window. Uh, I'd have to see the house again, but I thought she was like there was a deck underneath the window, and she's climbed up on that deck under the window. We haven't seen any of these creatures or aliens at all fly whatsoever. We've always seen them climb up. When they were on the RV, we seen them climb up on the RV. Every time, and we've never seen them, when they're in the house, they walk down the stairs of the house. They didn't just jump over the banister and make it down or hover down. It did seem like when she came at her, like a super lightning speed. So if you want to say, like, she flew into the window when the thing, and that's how she got in there so fast. I can understand that. Now, as for vampires going in and meeting the aliens as vampires there, then we have to start believing that there were vampires in existence before this. I don't know if there's any proof that we've been given in the show myself that I've seen that say that there were vampires back in the day. So when I come up with things and I go by things, me personally, I just go by what the show shows me. Now, I'm not saying that there's not, because maybe they didn't show it yet, all right? But that's what I go by. I go by what the show showed me, and I haven't seen any mention or anything about any type of vampire yet in the show. So that's why I can't go with that. He says, I believe that these are not one Bible in the town. I think that there's not one Bible in the town does mean something. I mean, it was brought up, right? Hello, Mom. I see my mother in the chat. How you doing, Mom? I do believe that the fact that they wouldn't bring that up if it wasn't important. They didn't have to say that. They didn't have to say that there's not one Bible in the town. And that could be significant, that there's not one Bible there. You would think in that whole town, out of all the stuff that there is there, that there would be at least one Bible, and not one Bible in that town. So that has to mean something. I can't just not meaning it mean nothing. I mean, why bring? I think if they bring something up that means something. Now, it's saying that this stuff is biblical, and this has something to do with the Bible. I'm not saying that it does. I mean, it's possible that it does or anything like it does, but I am not even sure. But again, he is the preacher, and obviously he would want to see a Bible. This is something that he brought up, so it'll be something from him. So I do think it's important that there's not one Bible in there. He said, these mutants only come out at night. The symbols are alien. You can Google it, and you'll say that the symbols are alien. Vampires don't age once bitten, which shows the difference era of the mutants. So he's saying that because vampires don't age, this is the eras that they get killed in. So when they kill people there, or the mutants that get killed there, this is the reason why they're stuck in that era, because they do not age. The only thing I would say about that, and it has to have something to do with that, but with the aging process. Now we see that there is some type of craziness going on in there, because number one, we see that Ethan's wound has healed really fast, right? And they point that out, how fast the wound is healing. So that's significant. The wound's not supposed to be healing that fast, but yet somehow it finds itself healing that fast. So something's going on there, without a shadow of a doubt. No Bibles in the town. Something's going on there, without a shadow of a doubt. I wonder if the aging process is slowed up. It all depends. Though we look at Victor and we could look at the aging process on him. He was there as a child in the 70s, and his age would be what I think it is. You know, uh, it would be what it is. So Big Daddy is saying, he says, did you see the theory that the bus is from hell? The area code Grand Rapids is 616 and the devil's number is 666. So I guess, all right, so the person who made that theory is the person who's supposed to be on here, the girl who made that and put that in the forum. She's the one who's supposed to come on here and explain this whole situation. But from what she has told me, the devil's number is actually 616 and not 666 itself. That the devil's number is, if you look it up, and you can see that the devil's number truly is 616, but it has been switched up during the years and the mythology and changed to being 666. But truly, the true devil number is 616. So I have seen her theory, and I was going to allow her to come on here and explain this theory before I actually gave my true thoughts on it, because I really need her to say it to me in order for me to really grasp everything that she's trying to say. Now, as for this being a situation with devils and hell and purgatory, and I 100% don't believe that it has anything, because when they bring stuff up in the show, like you had Tabitha come straight out and ask, just say straight up and say, listen, did we die in our car accident? And the preacher said, listen, this is not the first time I asked this. I had a lot of time to so many people have asked me this. I have a lot of time to tell you exactly what it is. So no, that's not the case. And that's what he says. And that's what I have to go with. I think when a show blatantly says it straight out, why they do that is because they know that a lot of people who watch this show are going to come up with that theory, and they want to shoot that down right off the bat. So I just don't see it being on any type of I don't see it being any type of purgatory or anything like that. Again, the girl who put that theory up in the Facebook group, Martina, she was supposed to be here live with me tonight, but well, this early night for me, but it is midnight for her. And she picked the time. I didn't pick the time. I would have did it earlier for her, so she could have got on early. But she told me that this was a good time for her, and she has not gotten back to me at all. I'm checking right now. She hasn't even seen the messages I sent her. So I have to assume that most likely she fell asleep. that sometimes she fell asleep. But when dealing with the aging process, again, it can't be that people are aging differently, because when we look at Victor, he was there as a child in the 70s, and and he would be the appropriate age that he is right now. Now, if we've seen Victor and he was only 30, then we could say that they're aging slower. There's something going on with the aging process, but he's the same. He's the age he should be at this time. And as I pointed out in my last video, you could check out my last video. I think it's a pretty good video and everything else. When dealing with Sarah in the situation in my video that I put out there, my theory, that I think that Sarah is the one who could help Jade solve this whole mystery of the seal. And when you look at that symbol, and I put the symbol up there that Jade keeps seeing, to me, that symbol looks exactly like the same symbol that they use for Doctor Strange. If you look at Doctor Strange, it's the same exact font to make it as the Doctor Strange one. Now they have changed it up somewhat, but in the end, that font of that symbol is 100% the same font that they use for Doctor Strange. And I'll pull up the Doctor Strange. Oh, and it's not the new Doctor Strange. We'll pull it up for you right now so you can see it. All right. That is not what I'm using. I'm all over the place here. Jesus, where is it? There we go. All right. So when we look here, let's pull it down real quick. I mean, you can look at it right here. Uh, right here. There's no denying that that is the exact same symbol. I mean, it's not all the lines connected like Doctor Strange. You know, it's not all connected like that, but it's 100% the symbol from there. I mean, how anyone could say that that is not the symbol? I mean, that's it. That's the exact same font of it, the same thickness, the way that the symbol goes from thick to thin, just like that. That's the exact same way that it is. That is without a doubt that they use the same thing. Now, it just so happens that the person who wrote this show has something to do with Marvel. You know, has something, you know, that they have something to do with Marvel. I forgot their exact connection, but they do have a connection to Doctor Strange and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm saying that it's quite possible. Now, when we look at that symbol right there and you see it, you know what I mean? It makes you understand what is that symbol and what does it represent. Well, that symbol represents the the sanctum sanctorum, which is a place that exists in a pocket dimension in its own, while still being on Earth. It's in its own dimension, right? And he can access other dimensions and fight them from there. So I think that could be something that is what it does, you know, and it could be a situation like this is telling you exactly what happened to them, that they traveled through some wormhole and now they are inside of this pocket dimension. I mean, we have the guy say it in the show, you know, in the show he says it, right? He says that you're in the pocket dimension, and it's funny when the guy says it about the pocket dimension. He says, "I could teach you people something if you would just listen to me," right? And that's not what it is. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Emily is correct. So yes, the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers who are I think producers of this show. The producers of the show, obviously the Russo brothers are the ones who also directed both in Marvel Avengers movies, Infinity Wars and Endgame, right? So that would be the connection to them would be the Russo brothers. Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. So the Russo brothers are involved. They did Marvel's Endgame and that did the work with Doctor Strange. It could be a reason why they used it. It's a good chance. That's the reason why. Thank you, Lou. Isn't Lou? Aren't you supposed to be? Are you a mod, Lou? Did I ask you to be a mod? You should be a mod. Let's see if we could rectify that right now. One second. We need more mods, especially for our shows. We don't have mods. We have to regulate people. Unfortunately, people get out of hand, and when they do, they got to get put in the box. I need people to put them in the box. People I could trust. Right? Can't don't block people. Don't want them blocked. But we do have to put So this is that one. This is this one. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2. Can you hear me now? It's showing me that it's working. I unplugged. I like unplugged. I unplugged my microphone, and it seems like the microphone is working. How does that happen? Anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about. We're gonna keep it going. Jesus, sorry about all this stuff and everything else and all that good stuff and everything else. But yeah, so when you look at the symbol that I was saying that Jade is seeing, there's no doubt it's impossible. Thank you so much, Frederick, for the super chat. Technically difficult. I'm sorry about it. But there's no way you can look at that symbol, look at the Doctor Strange symbol, and tell me that is not the same goddamn symbol. It's the same symbol. It is. Again, when you add the Russo brothers connection from it, that's what it be. Now, there was a point of contention that I want to talk about that video I put out. And I said in the video that Sarah was the only person that we've seen the boy in white talk to. And that is correct. Sarah is the only person that we've seen the boy in white physically talk to that we seen. We didn't see Victor actually talk to the boy in white. Now, we know that Victor claims that he talked to the boy in white because at the last season when we seen Tabitha, he says that the boy in white told him that she would come and to wait for him there. So we have to take it from that, you know what I mean, saying that is what it is that he talked to him, right? And thank you for the super chat, my brother, Fandom D Saint. And he says, just binged the first season last week. Cannot wait to watch your content. We got another someone else. So let's everyone welcome Fandom D Saint to the Frumily out here. Let everybody give a shout out to that real quick. And thank you again for the super chat, my brother. I really appreciate it. And welcome Fandom D Saint to the Frumily up in this piece. So I don't know if Victor is a weirdo. And I don't know if he actually talked to the boy in white. What I was saying in the video is that the first time we've ever seen anyone talk to the boy in white, and still that we know of that talk to the boy in white, is Sarah. And Sarah specifically says that the monsters told her that they've been waiting for someone that can hear them. If it was Victor, then he's talking to the boy in white, then that means the people that are talking to Sarah is not the boy in white. It's not the boy in white, because if that person has already spoken to Victor, then these people that are being held captive, it's not the boy in white. It's somebody else altogether. It's different people up there and everything else. So that's what we can take from that situation and everything else. Trez Comas says, do you guys think that the monsters are among the village during the day? So we seen that during the day, the monsters are sleeping underneath the village. So they're sound asleep down in the cave. So they're not walking around with everybody else there. So if you look at one of my videos that I put out there, I put out in the video that I believe that when you see Tabitha standing, do I have that picture of Tabitha? I don't even want to leave the screen anymore. I don't even want to leave the screen. I'm scared to do it. I want to pull up the picture of Tabitha. But if you see the picture of Tabitha and she's outside and they got that block statue that's out there and there's a hole inside of like a cave, I think that's either where her and Victor escaped from. That could be the way that they're coming out, is through that hole right there, because she's out in the woods. And I think that symbol, that Jenga board that we see her with, right? And we see these people with, all right, I'm scared to do it, people. I am. I'm scared to do it, but let's try it. Let's try it real quick. Scared to do it. All right, look, but let's bring up some stuff here. Because we need to see exactly what we're talking about. All right, all right, we're still here, so let's give it a shot. Let's just give it a shot. We're gonna give it a shot. Oh damn, we're gonna give it a shot. Here we go. All right. So here, when we look at this picture right here, Tabitha, and that block figurine that they have there, Big Daddy, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I truly appreciate it, man. He said, let's show this on the screen real quick. He says, glad to have you. I guess Phil and Phil are joking. You guys help Phil with that. Well, Phil, he has a stream that he does on Star Trek. So he usually does that and everything. So yeah, that's most likely why he's not here. I had another guest. We'll see if we can get her on again. I'll talk to her. I think she just fell asleep. It's like midnight. She's in Germany, so I think that's what's going on there. Thank you, my brother, for the super chat. So when we deal with this picture right here, this block set that we're seeing here is the same block set that we see that is outside or of that hole that we see outside the hole, that Tabitha is standing there, and those two little Raggedy Ann and Andy demons, that's what we're calling them on this channel, Raggedy Ann and Andy demons, right? Those Raggedy Ann and Andy demons, those are the ones that we seen that seems like something's going on there, right? So I think that thing here I put in the video, this thing that you see there, to me, I think that it's right outside the cave. You know what I mean? Maybe this is some type of way that they use to find themselves home. Maybe it's some type of symbol, but it seems like either she has taken this from the cave herself, or she has, or this is just another mock-up of it. But most likely this is taken from the cave itself, if you ask me. Now that we got this thing somewhat working, let's go on to some other pictures here. All right, so we have a picture here of Jade, and this is Jade just lamping. As we can see in this season, that Jade seems like his beard has grown out a little bit and everything. It's everyone else. So let's go through this. Everyone is still alive somewhere else. What do you mean by that, Hez? Please let me know what that means. I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say. Where do you think the train tracks lead to? That is a good question. Where the train tracks lead to? I don't know. I can't go. Who knocks down the tree? I think that's the main people. The main people, the main ones. The ones to, again, there has to be a different set of people that are here. More than one set of people that are here. You know what I mean? So someone just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I can't see it from where I got this thing set up. Let me see. Dak. Thank you, Dak, for subscribing to the channel. Truly appreciate it. I'm over here. This thing is just crazy. It's got me all over the place. So the tree. I mean, I would think that it's a tree because we see, they put Ethan on top of it and he was walking on it like it was a tree. But then what happens to the tree? Is the tree just remain in the road? Is it the same tree? Now, everyone who goes through said they see the tree. So is it just the same tree that is there knocked over the whole time? I don't can't see them knocking over trees constantly and just constantly trees because they say they seen the tree, but is the tree still there when they wrap around? I think the tree is gone there, right? Because you see the tree and then you turn around. And when you turn around, you never see the tree again. The tree is gone. The tree is just a way to get you to turn around. And once you turn around, that's what it is. Just says go around the tree. I guess people would. You should go around the tree, but people, I guess, don't want to leave their car and stuff. So I think that's what it is. People just don't want to leave their car. Emily, thank you for the super chat. What do you think happens to the radio? I think that I don't think the radio is a way that they're going to get out of this whole situation. In fact, I don't think the radio is going to be much of a factor right now. I think the radio is going to be done. That's going to be the end of the radio situation. I think they used it. It wasn't successful, and I think they're going to move on from the radio. I think it just wanted you to know that there's somebody out there actually watching them and watching every move that they're doing and knew everything. Because when we see in the trailer, we see that house collapse. That's the Mathews house collapse. Why does that house collapse? Is it the whole? Because it can't be the foundation from the house. Something forced that house to collapse. And I'm telling you, what I think is going on. Big Daddy, get a question? I think so. I don't see the question, Big Daddy. Try to leave it again. So I think that. Thank you, Emily. Thank you for that. We need the Easter Father's Catchery, sir. We do. Hey, Tony the Creatures, T-ville says, hey, Tony, the Creatures cave drawing showed the townspeople, Boyd and Sarah, and I believe the two creepy kids. Townspeople. All right, so I know what you're saying. I don't know if I could bring that picture up. I know where it's at though. Let me see if I can find it real quick. No, it's gonna use mine. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to see if I can find that one picture. It's not there. Sorry. Let's take that real quick. I don't have that picture. I know what you're talking about. Luna, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me pull up your question here. It says, does the Jade's cat shirt mean that he's both dead and alive? And he had the t-shirt on for 2 seasons. Must mean something. Well, the cats do it. So it's Freudian's cat, right? That's what it means. So again, I explained this in my other video exactly what I think is going on with this situation. It's not it's the person who made that up, that theory, is the same person along. There's three people he brings up when he walks inside there, but he doesn't put that, and he's going through all of their theories, but he doesn't put the two theories of the two guys together, Einstein, and now I can't think of the guy's name, but they came up with the wormhole theory. And I think that's what it is. So I understand what they're saying. I think that was just a way to let you know that what's going on, that this is some type of wormhole, and Jay just didn't figure it out and everything. But it is significant. Rosen, yes, Rosen is the name. Thank you, Brett. The Einstein and Rosen bridge. Thank you. So that's when he said, when he walks in there, he goes Einstein, Rosen. He said the other guy's name, but he didn't place them together. And I think that's what he had to do, and would put them together and realize it, because he goes inside the police station with Kenny, and he says these are where everyone came and they all wound up here, and he's like, that's impossible. But he should have put it out there, like, why is that impossible? How is it possible? So first you have to say, and Schrodinger is the other guy. You're correct. So Schrodinger, Einstein, and Rosen is who he's thinking about. And he goes in there, but he doesn't put Einstein and Rosen together. And I think that's what his mess up was. But so, yeah, I think that's what it is. But he goes there and he says to himself, he goes, this is impossible. How could everybody come from different directions and end up in one spot? That's impossible. But him being a scientist and everything else, he should know it's not impossible. How is it not impossible? How could this possibly happen? And that would be the only way it would be the Einstein and Rosen bridge, which is the wormhole theory. That if you go inside, and the way they break it down is there's two sinks, and you go in down one of the sinks into the pipes, and you come up the other pipe, you could be in the exact same sink, but be in a different parallel universe or a different dimension. And that's exactly how you could all go from here. I mean, that's what they think about black holes. That black holes could be the key to discovering wormholes in space and everything. And I think what happened was that the company that Jade made, that he sold this idea to for quantum mechanics, came up with a computer algorithm that was able to solve this paradox, and they made a wormhole. And even though you can go through a wormhole, you always have to remember something can go through the other side and enter the wormhole. And I think that these aliens came through that wormhole, and that's how they got there. And ever since they got there, they've been running tests this whole time on human beings. The paintings on the cave suggest this time was trapping people since the Vikings times there were boats. All right, so we talked a little bit about that a little bit early in the stream, exactly how that could be. I just want to pull up these cave drawings. No, sugar. The pictures of this cave. All right, there was one. All right, let's see if I can pull this up. All right, let's see if we can pull this up on stream. All right, so far everything is working good. Is this where it's at? Yes, it is. All right, I got the drawing right here. Let's pull up Victor's cave drawing. Let's go through it. I'm doing a video on it, but we're here. We're gonna do it live. Who said that? Who was that crazy? That crazy person? I got caught on the hot mic on this doing a news character, doing a news show. And he was like, we're gonna do it live. Okay, we're going live. All right. I think it's this one. Yep, that's it. What's that person? Yeah, Bill O'Reilly out there. That's it. All right, let's go. All right. So yeah, this is Vic. This is the drawing. This is the one that means something. Hope y'all see it good enough on this, or do you want me to go full screen with it? Now I can take myself off, and I can go full screen. You let me know what you want to do, and we can do it like that. All right. All right. So, all right. Again, let's go through it real quick. Let's start with what left. Luna, what's that mean? Yes, you want me to go full screen with it and get rid of myself? All right. I see how y'all feel about me. I see how you feel about me. I think this would do it. All right, there you go. That's there you go. There you go. There you go. All right. You have to have me on the screen. Here you go. Full screen. Let's start with the left. All right. The left. We see Jade the symbol that Jade keeps saying right here in the circle. All right. Can y'all see that? Do I have to put the mouse here? All right. You see this right here. Jade symbol right here. On top of this is two people. One, two people right here. Now, I would think that this is what people are thinking of Raggedy Ann and Andy on top of this, right? So when I do the video on this thing, y'all better watch the damn video, all right? So you have Jade symbol, Raggedy Ann, and Andy. Underneath this, it looks like coffins to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coffins, it looks like. All right? And underneath this, we have people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people right there. All right, so let's just break down this one section, and then we'll move on to the other stuff that we see after this. I'm here, right? I'm here, right? Y'all can still see me and hear me, right? I mean, I'm looking at the microphone and it's showing that. So, all right. It was something. Try and take me. All right, I'm back, right? Can you hear me and see me? Let me see a yes in the chat so that way I know that everything is good. I can hear you, but I can't see you. I can hear you. They're showing me on the screen right now. They don't show. You're not seeing me on the screen. I can hear and see the mural. No, you. All right. Don't worry about me then. We're just looking at the mural right now, I guess. Let's. I don't know how you don't see me, but I see you. As long as you can hear me and everything else. So we'll just keep going the way it is. All right. So the picture on the left, as we broke it down on the left and everything, is that we can see the two people above, which could be Raggedy Ann and Andy above. We have Jade's symbol, and then we have 7, what I believe is coffins outside. Can see the small box outline where you should be. Oh, well, I'm here. So as long as you can hear me, we'll just keep it going. They're having problems to stream all night long, but we'll just keep it going. And as long as everything else is right there. It could be the people at MGM trying to mess with me because we're figuring all this stuff out. All right. And then we have 10 people underneath, 7 coffins underneath that. On the other side of this picture, that we can see on the other side, over here, we see what looks like birds right here. So these have to be the ravens or the crows. This looks like it could be a bell, quite possibly. And then we see 2 people again holding hands right here. And then I don't know what I have to get closer. I have to zoom the image in to see exactly what that is. And I can't zoom it in from where it's at. They have the symbols. The symbols. All right. All right. That means something. All right. So the symbols we see on the walls is the symbols of the talisman are on the wall. Right there, the same exact symbols that they have on the talisman are carved into the wall. So that means specifically that the symbols on the talisman is not what's keeping them out. Right? It's not what's keeping them out of there. It's not that. Because if it was the symbols that was keeping them out, they wouldn't be able to have these symbols on the wall. Right? So it's not the symbols whatsoever. The symbols themselves mean nothing at all. Nothing at all. So then you have to start looking at, is it the rock itself? Is that the rock? And I'm telling you, it may not be a rock at all. It may not be. It may not be a rock whatsoever. It just like the faraway trees look like faraway trees. The faraway trees do look like faraway trees. They are not faraway trees. They're just meant to blend in with everything, and that's just what it is. Big Daddy P180. That's I should have sent you the money in the cafe. Sorry about that. YouTube keeps six shit ass of the super chat. Yeah, so YouTube takes 60% of the super chat, and you get 40% of the super chat. So yeah, YouTube does take a whole lot of the money and stuff. So yeah, if you want me to get 100% of the money that you send, you have to send it to the Cash App. It's right there. Hez, we got love for you, Hez, but you can't tell us to stop talking about the symbols, man. We're having a conversation here. And if you feel that it's a red herring, you know what I mean? I feel you on that. But you can't tell us to stop talking about it. It's part of the show. We have to explain this away, right? It's he's. All right, It's he's. All right, I'm sorry. That is. Listen, it sounds the same, goddamn it. It could go both ways. All right, I got you. All right. And that's just what it is and stuff. All right. So I think that the symbols when dealing with them, and remember, Victor says that they like to draw too. Right? They like to draw too, saying that somehow that these creatures are the ones that are over here sending this stuff, are the ones who are doing this. They're the ones who drew these pictures. How these creatures got the color and the ink, the red and the white and the black, I can see them getting but how do they get this stuff? You know what I mean? I don't know how they got these colors, but that's another story to deal with. But I think the most interesting thing is obviously the big red symbol. And if you could figure out what that big red symbol is, you may be able to figure out this whole situation. You know what I mean? When you deal with it, I mean, I can't see it. I need to download the picture itself, and then I could zoom in on her. And I could look around a little bit more on it and stuff like that. Hmm. There are more people here in red at the bottom. You can't. It's hard to see them, but there are people here. One, two, three, four, five, six people in red at the bottom. You have the house is right here. Right here, the symbols from the talisman are right here, right next to it. Crows right here, and this, I don't know what that is. I know people are gonna say it's the devil because it's red, but I don't think it's the devil. I don't think it's the devil. I don't think so. Um, Honestly, it looks like the kids drew these. It does look like children drew these. It doesn't look like adults. This is drawn by adults. I can't see the monsters that we've seen draw these too. Now these monsters are. Oh, let me check. I did get some super chats from the Cash App. Let me just say thank you. I don't want to say your real name. So P sent me one right here. Big Daddy sent me 20 bills. Thank you so much. And Chris says, love your theories, Tony, and anything else. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it that you said it there and everything else. Sometimes I gotta update my phone and stuff. It just sits there. But yeah, thank you so much. I truly appreciate that, man. I feel you, Big Daddy. You know, I see Big Daddy Pete. Now we know what the P stand for. Yeah, can y'all still not see me on the screen? You really can't? Is that really what it is? Let me see. You can't. Can you see me on the screen right now? I'm not on the screen at all. I mean, I'm not going to leave it like that because that's just crazy. But can you not see it? I think the red people are the creatures. Uh, really? That's so nuts. Because I see myself perfectly fine. Only the mural. Only the fucking mural. See, now I'm scared to stop sharing it. Because if I stop sharing it, let's see. Let's hide it. Can you see me on the screen right now? Am I on the screen? Can you see me? I took the mural off the screen, so it should just be me on the screen. It's an empty box. Unbelievable, because I can see myself perfectly fine. That's crazy. All right, we'll refresh it one more time. All right. What about now? Is it back right now? Can you see me now? All right. And then the audio goes. Oh, and the audio's back on too, and everything else. All right. Well, I appreciate you. Okay, all right. I guess it just keeps messing up. It's something going on. And you know, I've had problems with this Melon app probably for the last 3 streams. All right. I've had problems with this Melon app. So maybe I'm just going to have to go back to StreamYard and just stop using the Melon app because there's a problem going on with Melon. Maybe that's it. I'm just got to go back to StreamYard and everything else. But and the audio right now, for some reason my regular microphone's not working in this fucking app, but so I'm using the audio from my cam right now. But something's going on with Melon. It's expensive as fuck, Melon too. StreamYard's much cheaper, so I might just have to go back to StreamYard. But I think Melon, the features it offers is better. That's why I do it and everything else. What do you mean, T-Ville? No. What's that mean? No, no, no. What? What do you mean, no? I understand what that means. Let's go. Luna says, the cave drawings remind me of ancient cave drawings, Lascaux caves in France. These were made at Palestinian times, period. See where you're confusing me. First you say no, and then you're saying yes. I don't know. I don't know what it means. Uh, Paleolithic. Thank you, sir. Has knows how to say it to me so I can pronounce this shit. The Paleolithic time period. I would pull it up right now for you, but I'm afraid to pull shit up because every time I pull shit up, we see what happens. Right? There's some problems and everything else going on. No, and everything else. You know what I mean? What is this? Who am I trying? Oh my God! I said it again. He's. He's gonna. It's gonna take a second. It's gonna take a second because I understand that it's your name. Your name should be said right. Right. Yeah, of course. So I'm not doing it in a disrespectful way. All right. Don't take it like that. I hope you're not taking it like that. It's just it's in my vocabulary right now. So now I have to keep saying it a couple of times before I get it. He's all right. Put another E in there, like spread it out, and I'll be able to get it. All right. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. So when I look at those cave drawings, if the red people in the cave are the if the red people in the caves are the creatures, the white people in the caves, you would think they would be the same. Like, so I know that you see the two people in white, and you could consider them Raggedy Ann and Andy, like who's behind us. But you would think that every person that's drawn in that picture represents the same people. So I believe that. Now listen, we went over the now I'm saying this before, you know what I mean? But before everything I said in my video, before stuff came out, we went over the titles of the episodes and synopsis for all the episodes, right? And I did believe that these children were not evil children. They were not coming to hurt them at all. And I believe, me personally, and we have seen no proof of this, but I believe that this only Tabitha can see them, because every time they do show them, right? Every time they do show them, it's always focused on Tabitha. And when we see her with her daughter, and she's walking out of that whatever barn structure with her daughter, and she stops and it zooms in on her eyes and it shows the children standing there. In this picture right here, we see no reaction from her daughter, which makes me think only she can see them. We also see that it's her that's inside the cave when she's with Victor, and she reacts to the one in the cave. I'm not sure if anyone else could see it. Again, Tabitha's also been given visions, right? We've seen her with the vision of walking up inside the lighthouse, right? So this all has to, so I don't think that these kids are evil. And I think that these kids could be, you know, it quite possibly could be a situation where she's seeing the past. Maybe these are the kids, and somehow they got turned into these monsters, and somehow, obviously, I mean, why would they have that one locked up in the cage where the monsters are at? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. Why would they have them in the cage in the wooden bars? We've seen these monsters break through wood and everything else easily. So it's not to keep them safe from the monsters, it's to keep them escaping. But what if they weren't there at that particular time? What if this is where they used to be and she's seeing flashbacks of the past? Like when she sees that girl in the cage with the messed up nose, that's what that girl was there, but years ago, and she's just seeing like the imagery of what it used to be. Yeah, that structure that she has and she puts on the porch is something else. Chernobyl children, I bet. So you think that these children, because it seems like whoever, all right, so again, I'm talking about the main people who are holding them all hostage, which I believe to be aliens, the main people, the ones above it all, not the monsters that are actually stalking them. I'm talking about the main people, right? Who I think are aliens. Maybe they ran the experiments on children. Maybe it was some type of island of Dr. Moreau type situation. And they ran experiments on these children. And maybe some of these experiments turned these town folks into these town folks. Maybe they started off like this. What is this? Emily says some people have seen the first 3 episodes. How did they do that? What do you mean? Have they been leaked? Wait. Oh, some critics. Some critics. I'm a critic. I'm a critic. Well, oh, all right. Well, I'm a critic. I guess I'm not big enough. Do you remember first episode when Fatima showed the young girl the moon from the window in the night? I do remember that the moon, that she showed him the moon. I don't remember that. In the first episode, what woman are you not talking about? Julie, because Julie didn't make it there. Well, Emily's like, you have to have over 150K subscribers. I don't have 150K subscribers, so I'm cool where I'm at. I don't want the episodes spoil everything. I like to come up with theories and stuff, so I don't want to. I don't want to ruin that. I like to come out here and theorize with you people. If I see the episode, I'm not gonna come. It wouldn't be the same. So it couldn't have. Julie wasn't in. She didn't make it in there in the first episode for Fatima. She didn't. She didn't go in there and say and bring her up there that first episode. No way. She did that because they had to tie them up and hold them down in that first episode, right? So maybe that's the second episode. Regardless of whatever episode happened, Fatima is showing the view of the window of the colony house. Yeah, I don't know if she actually looked at the moon or anything else like that, but it couldn't have been episode 1. Regardless of what the episodes were, what is the point in episode 2? So if it happened, and most likely in episode 2, I'm saying so. I don't remember it, but what are you trying to say about it? When she showed her the moon, what does that mean? That's what it is. And there is my co-host, living my Rhapsody, Elamar, is in the build. I wonder if the distance was a town outside their bubble, or was it just a town outside of Colony House? So we know that they're in some type of, like, Victor drew a picture of like an orb of a town inside of the orb, right? It's one of his pictures and stuff. So I would think if anyone's in the bubble, they would be in the bubble. And Elamar is here, so anyone who is a member of the channel, you have the Elamar emoji. throw up the LMR emoji for LMR being in the building right now. I know y'all people haven't seen him, but if you watched first season, LMR was on every live stream with me because she is my partner. And then Phil joined us after a while and everything else, right? So, that's why we have LMR emojis up in there. So throw the LMR emoji up there. If you're a member, you get those emojis. You get the special emojis, right? You get the Don Tony Teflon emoji. You get the LMR emoji. You get Phil the Issues Guy emojis. You get the Bridge 4 emoji and everything else. Big Daddy says that he says the trees are moving. So, and maybe not just physically, their minds make it as big as it has to be. And LMR will be back. Yes, she will be back as soon as she can. I think that then she says they move like an inch. And he's measuring them and they've been moving like an inch. Again, I don't think that if this is a simulation, let's go through it and just say that this whole thing is a simulation, right? The whole thing that they got put up in there, and somehow this is some form of simulation, and this is a glitch in the matrix, and that's why the trees are moving. That would explain it 100%. It starts me to think that it is some type of matrix situation going on here, an evil matrix situation where people are just killing other creatures and stuff. But it does make me think that somehow this could be a matrix situation going on and everything else. What up to Anna? What up to Jackie C? And what up to LMR and everyone else who's up here and joining us and stuff? Vanity Sate says, I wonder what prompted Victor to start measuring the distance between the trees. Yeah, Victor is suspect. And all right. So I'm going to say this, though I can't confirm. Am I really? He says, can you give a shout out to Reddit? You were getting a lot of love. Yo, let me give a shout out to Reddit straight up. If I'm getting love on Reddit, I didn't know that I was, but yeah, no doubt, everybody, you know what I mean? Go out there and check out the Reddit you know what I mean? And give a shout out to the Don Tony Teflon. If you want to be in a group, look for the private group From on MGM on Facebook, and there's another public one From on MGM on Facebook. We're trying to get the From on MGM. I think they want to get to, I think it's 14,000 or something like that. So let's try to get them to 14,000 if we can, get in everything else like that. Oh, Phil is posting on Reddit. All right. All right, that's what it is. Phil's more talented at those things than me. That's what it is. You know what I mean? But check it out. You know what I mean? Check all those places out and everything else, especially the From on Facebook if you want to go on there. And I'm in there. And listen, that's how I got in contact with the dude that the Smile Monster. He's in the group right there. You know what I mean? So that's how I got in contact with him. I got in contact with a podcast people that put me in contact with him. So I'm sure he's not the only one. I'm sure he's not. Oh, I'm sure he's not the only one. You know what I mean? And everything else. But I'd be up in there. I post all my videos in there and everything else and all that. Oh yes, someone brought up doing an after dark this weekend. And someone said, I think there's going to be an after dark this weekend. And I told them, I was like, I don't know. I haven't spoken to Anna. Maybe we'll come back and we'll do an after dark soon and everything else. I would love to do it again and all that good stuff, But hey, it is what it is. I cover this show because I love this show. I'm not one of these people like that. You won't see a lot of YouTubers covering this show because, in all honesty, dealing with YouTube stuff, there's no money in covering this show. You don't get the views to make enough money. That's why you won't see any of these big YouTubers or whatever not covering. But F those guys. I don't like them anyway. You know what I mean? This is my town, and I cover it. Why? Because I love the show, and whether I make any money on it or anything else, I truly enjoy just coming out here and talking about the show and creating content for the show, and that's what it's all about. And that's why I always rock with it. It ain't about the dough to me. You know what I mean? It ain't about that. This is my block right here. And when this show does blow up, and I'm telling you, it's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up. I feel it in my bones. And when this show does blow up, then you will see all these bastards coming out of the woodworks making videos about this show. But stick with the guy who's been here, and other content creators, not just me. There's other guys who content create. I don't hate on nobody. You know what I mean? Anyone who's been from the beginning, loving this show and making stuff. Stick with us, man. Not these guys when they just try to come in there just for that. Yes, this is the this is the you can't tell that this is beer. You have no idea. We'll be locking this stuff down and everything else. So yeah. No, there's other people out there covering from, not just me. There's other people out there, but no one's doing like a lot of the videos that I'm doing. But there are other people covering it and stuff. That's what I'm talking about. That I'm with you until I quit, and I quit when I die. See, that's what I'm talking about, my brother. That's what I'm talking about. Dear chat, what Teflon show was Fatima interview? You know what I'm gonna do? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a playlist. I'll do it tonight. I'll take all the videos that I did the interviews on, and I got love for you too. Got love for you. Thank you. And I will put them in one playlist so you can find them easily. I'll title it From Interviews. How about that? All right. And I'll put all of them in there so you can find them. So you got the Fatima one, you have the Adana one, Elizabeth Saunders, Pega Gufari, and then you'll see, and then the last one was Jerry Maguire. I called him Jerry Maguire on the show too. I messed up because during the interview. The Smile Monster, right? Let's just go with that. he was the last one. But yeah, the Fatima one was actually the first one that we got. That was the first one we got. She was the first one who came on the show and everything, So yeah, no, it says it doesn't have her on the thing because that was like it was a mystery one. It's like From Mystery Interview, it says. So that's what it is. Yeah, I have we did the interview with Pega. That's the first interview we did was with Pega. So it's on there. It says it's like Mr. Who Mystery Interview, and it has a picture of Tabitha and Jim on it because I didn't want to give away exactly who we were interviewing at that time and stuff. But she was the first one that we did it. So yeah, she's up there. So you can definitely check it out. I'll make a playlist and put them all in one playlist so you can find it and everything else. She was mad cool. In fact, all of them are cool. In the end, I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Like I will say that Donna Elizabeth was the one who clicked with us the most. I mean, they all clicked with us and they all had a good time. But Donna could join the show. That's how much she Elizabeth, I should say, clicked with us. And if she gets killed off, we're gonna ask her to join the show. All right. So, all right. Let's say. So Ryan says, Tony, do you think the Google search from casting lists Boy and White as a new character name is a spoiler? If it is not, it's legit. If legit, please let everyone know the name and the thought. All right. Did anybody see this with the Boy and White? If you Google the Boy and White, and we know that the kid's name who actually plays him, he does have they have a name out there for the Boy in White. Did anyone see that? I will tell you what it says, the name. I don't want anyone to what it says. To me, it's legit, 100%. I don't think it would be up there if it isn't. And the fact that the Boy in White's name is there, Vox Smith is the actor who plays him, but it says the character of the Boy in White has a name. The character itself has a name. Does anyone know what that name is? I know what the name is. And if you want me to say the name, I'd rather y'all just put it in there, and we'll put it in, and we'll talk about it. All right. So do you want me to tell you what what it says the boy in white's name is? Is that what you want? I will put in there. All right. All right. So it says on this thing, when you look up the boy in white, that the boy in white's name is Victor. That's what it says. It says that the boy in white's name is Victor. That's 100%. If you look at the casting, it says Boy Vox Smith, Vox, whatever, and it says Victor. I've seen it, but it does say Victor. So what does that mean? Does that mean that the boy in white is Victor? I mean, that's what you're gonna have to take from it, right? I mean, we seen Victor as a child, and it did not. Why did you lead with that? I don't want to ruin anything for anybody. You know what I mean? I'm not into ruining anything, and all that. But if the boy in white is Victor, let's just say it's Victor. We've seen Victor as a child. We've seen pictures of him as a child, and the boy in white, was there when he was a child. So it's do I it doesn't look like Victor. So it's Victor the boy in white. You know what I mean? Yeah, the boy who's the boy on the lunchbox. The boy in the lunchbox is Victor. I mean that's who he is. So, you know, if you look at the boy, as you said, who's the boy in the lunchbox? The boy in the lunchbox is Victor, the Victor that we know. Could there be multiple Victors? There could be. You know what I mean? It could be another Victor. Could this be? I mean, I don't know. It's hard to take. It's hard for me to say that this is this Victor made this whole thing up. Now, I put this thing out there. I talked about on one of the streams and of a book, a children's book that was called, I used to read when I was little, called Harold and His Purple Crayon. And with this purple crayon, I don't know if y'all ever read that children's book, but Harold, whatever he drew came to life, right? With that. So is that what it is? Is it a situation that Harold and his purple crayon that's what it is and stuff like that? And Jackie C has put the link in the description to the interview that I did with Fatima. So you can check out the link is there. Thank you so much, Jackie C. You're a great mind. Best in the business. Right there. You can check it out. Miss T, two Victors due to the time loop. It definitely could be. Definitely could be two different Victors. Again, when dealing with the wormhole theory, right? And dealing with when you deal with alternate realities and alternate universes, right? You can easily, people don't have to look exactly the same in the alternate universe, right? I could go through when you look at the like the if you ever watch the Loki show, and there's all these alternate versions of Loki. One of them is a girl, one of them's a boy, one of them's an alligator, but all the same Loki, but they're all come in different forms just because they're in a different universe. So it could be that is Victor from a different universe. It could be a situation like that. So if you want to say that boy in white is Victor, that's the only way I could see that would be the boy in white would be Victor. That it's Victor, but it's Victor from a different time universe, a different dimension, parallel universe. You know what I mean? That would be it. Yes, some type of multiverse Victor, and that would be it. And maybe that's why this guy Victor was brought in. What up, Lamont? Well, you know what I mean. Thanks for joining us. Maybe that's why they had this Victor come here. You know what I mean? So it all comes down. We'll talk about it. I'll put it in the next video. That I put out there about this breaking news and everything else about the boy in white and Victor. If again, that would be the only way I could see it, because it looks nothing like him. Nothing like him. You know what I mean? And the boy in white, again, Sarah specifically says that they were waiting for someone who could speak to him. So there's people that are speaking to Sarah. It's not the boy in white. If the boy in white is able to speak to Victor and Sarah, then the people that are sending Sarah messages are people that it's only been Sarah is the only person that they've ever been able to communicate with all this time. And that's what it is. Elamar says, I wonder what all these people have in common that ended up there. I don't believe they are there by chance. I don't think it's chance either. I think you're 100% that it's something going on. All right. So in my last video, I talked about it. So when Victor first got there, right, he said that everybody was massacred. That's when he first got there. Oh, he was there when he remembers being there. Everybody was massacred. So there used to be a hotel there, right? So I think that when we looked at the pictures from season 2, you see people that was posing in front of the hotel. So I think some people were just driving through the town. Victor's family could have been driving through that town and stopping off, thinking that they were at a hotel to take a break from wherever they were driving from. That's why they were snapping pictures outside there, the people who were snatching people, whether it's Victor's family, whoever was snatching. Victor was walking in the background while these people were snapping pictures. So people were just driving through town, stopped off here at the hotel and started taking pictures there. And then all of a sudden, everybody got massacred, right? And that's when Victor comes out and he sees everybody dead. Now, when you listen to Sarah said that the voices told her before that 2 cars had shown up before and they killed everybody. And she says specifically that the reason why they killed everybody was because of the people in the car, right? That was the reason why. So, and they were going to do it again. So did the people who showed up in this car, were they both brought there? I think one of the people that were brought there by the people who wanted to bring them there, and the other one was brought by the set of people that are talking to Sarah. And these people that they brought there could eventually somehow help them escape. And so that these people that above everyone said, we can't let that happen. That's why they killed everybody in the town, to make sure that these people didn't do it. So now we look at these new 2 people that are here. You have the Mathews family, and you have Toby, and you have Jade. All right. I think the Mathews family was brought here by the people who are in control of the whole thing and are running this test on these people. And I think Toby and Jade were not supposed to be in there. They got stuck in there when they came through and got ran off the road and got stuck there. Now, I can't see it being too many people in the town, and they got a quota, and they have to have a certain amount of people, because they keep showing people pop out of Colony House that we've never seen, so we don't know exactly how many people are actually in the town. There's a lot of people, a lot of extras that you see here and there and stuff like that. So we have no idea of how that's going. But I think what happens is that when certain people like Jade and Toby could figure this shit out, and they're willing to kill everybody in the town and then do a reset, because that's what it seemed like it was. It seems like, all right, let's kill everybody off. Let's do a reset. After we reset it, we'll bring more people in and start the experiment over again. And I think that is what was going to happen here and everything else. What's going on right here with Lamont? Who's Lamont? He's saying who's Lamont? He's saying, and he had a few theories on the show, and he actually watched the first video. Lamont, I don't know who Nocturnal is and everything else like that. I mean, he said he's watched the first 3 episodes and he has a theory. I mean, I don't think you can consider it a theory. If you've watched the episodes, I think you know what's going on. Right? If I can't watch the episodes and then say, "Hey, I think this is gonna happen." You watch the shit, right? So I don't know if we could go with that. I can't. I don't think we could say that's a theory. I think we have to say that's what it is. So he said, if Boyd is cured from his Parkinson's, do you think the town can cure and take away like playing God? So again, I think that when you deal with that situation, I think he gets cured because of the spider bites. That's what I think. The reason why gets cured. I think that you know what I mean. You think town can cure it and take away? Uh, Again, we talked a little bit about this earlier that somehow Ethan's wounds are healing leg wound is healing extremely fast, and we don't know. You know what I mean? And that so it's. I mean, I think Boyd's Parkinson's is cured from the spider bites. I mean, that's the only way I could see it. I mean, he's got some shit in his arm. You could see it in that picture that I put there. You could see like there's some type of shit bubbling in his arm. Kind of looks like Sarah when she was getting the messages. You know what I mean? So maybe somehow the spider bites is doing something to him there. Uh Says Luna said, I don't think Chrissy's girlfriend, a new arrival on the bus, will last long in Fromville. Tony, what do you think? She was brought there. I think if this is a way to I think that if this is a way to trigger people, they could have seen, all right, these two are getting closer together. Let's throw a monkey wrench in this motherfucker and see what happens. I think that most of the people, it's a good possibility that they wanted her and she was on that bus and everybody else is just there because they wanted her and that was the way to get her in there. Because that's the only thing it does is upset the apple cart. When we look at her and her whole situation that we've seen, it's just between getting her closer to Kenny. The only thing this does is fuck up her and Kenny. So if there's a reason why she was brought there, that's the only reason I could see her being brought there would be somehow that was it. And everybody else is just collateral damage in that bus. You know what I mean? Because, are they going to wipe everyone out? Again, I think there could be a major flood this season from going by the pictures that we've seen in Victor, Drew, and we've seen there was a flood and there was nothing but bodies there. It could be a situation again that there's just a flood that happens. Are the people on the bus replacement for the people that died? I don't know if that many people died. When we've seen people died, it wasn't that many from Colony House and everything else. They didn't get that many people there. You know what I mean? So that bus is packed with much more people than the people who died. And you are correct. Elamar says the name from makes so much sense. Everyone is from somewhere else. These people could not be from this planet. And it could be anything left like that. Crypto is saying, since they were able to get someone on the radio, do you think it's possible someone's watching them on video? So what I think is this, and I'm be honest, I think that they were dealing with here fourth dimensional beings. Now you now you may say that that sounds crazy and everything else, but that if we're dealing with fourth dimensional beings that are there, then everything that happens would make sense, right? Fourth dimensional beings could see everything that we go. They could see inside the body. They could do everything. They could cure people quicker. They could take out infections inside anyone. If it's a fourth dimensional being that they're dealing with here, then it makes a lot of sense why all of this stuff is happening and you have no idea what's going on, right? Because they're in the fourth dimension. There'd be no way that you can physically see them. They would be able to see inside your internal body. They'd be able to see inside every house. They'd be able to see inside underneath the ground. They'd be able to see everything. There'd be no way you could hide from them. So it's good chance it's fourth dimensional beings you're dealing with. It has to be supernatural, no other way. Well, if you look at the description of the show, it's called sci-fi horror. That's what it says. It's called sci-fi horror. That's what it'd be. And yes, Songbird, it would be like just like the Interstellar movie. It would be just like that, 100%. That's exactly what I said on my other video. That's what I referenced it to. Interstellar. It would be just like the Interstellar movie. As in Interstellar, you seen that when he left, Matthew McConaughey's character left because the world was all messed up on that mission, and it turned out that the reason why the world was messed up in the first place was because he went on that mission, even though the world was messed up before he even left to that mission, right? So it could be a situation like that. It was aliens in Interstellar. I mean, they were aliens if you want to get technically about it, because they're not from this planet. Anything not from this planet is an alien. Anything from outside of Earth that wasn't born on Earth is an alien. Doesn't matter what it is or anything. It could be a lizard. If it's born on a different planet, it's an alien. So it was all right. So it was them from the future. All right. From that accord, they were human beings who had turned into that. So if you want to go into that, then all right. They're human beings from the future who didn't live there on the planet anymore. So if you want to get technically like that, then you're 100%. They are human beings. They are from originally from the planet. So if you want to say that, then I agree that yes, it was not aliens then. If you want to say that. Most likely a lot. We'll go through it. So if you're going that technical, then 100% correct. You are 100% correct. They were not aliens then. They are human beings from the future that had left the planet and moved somewhere else, and that's what it is. So yes, you're correct. They were originally from this planet. So 100%, you're right. It was not aliens. And if that does happen to be the case in this television show, then you will see me come on this live stream with the hottest chip ever made, and you will see me eat that chip live on stream. You'll see it go down like that. We'll see it. We'll see. But in the end, to me, I do believe it's aliens, and I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Not at all. I am not worried about it. So we'll see. We'll see. But I do think that most likely it's a situation like that. Some type of people just messing around with things and everything. Even if it's humans from the future, it's still sci-fi. Yes, 100%, it would be. But I think Teflon TV. Google, what does broken tree represent? All right, let's I'll Google it right now. What does broken tree represent? It says, since a tree represents life, a broken tree or a broken branch symbolizes death, or more specifically, a life cut short. Gravestones signify a break in the family tree, someone who died prematurely. So you would say that you think that that's what the tree represents, that is down. Broken tree and crows and ravens symbolize death. Do you say the boy in white is good or evil? I would say that I'm going to put a alien emoji now in there. I'm going to put one in there. All right, so from everything that we've seen the boy in white do, he has done nothing bad at all. We haven't seen him. We've seen him save Victor. We've seen him save Victor and Tabitha. We've seen him save Sarah, and we've seen him save Boyd. So we haven't seen him do anything evil. It doesn't mean he's not evil, but we haven't seen him do anything evil yet. We've seen him do nothing but good things. So right now we have to say he's good. There's nothing that he's done to make you think that he's evil. Trees Kind says the people are just livestock for these creatures being fed off of fear and emotion of people. The bus is going to replenish the livestock. It could be 100%. I still think that the only person that we need that's on that bus that matters that we know of is Sarah, is this chick's girl, and that's it. Will we see him put Boyd in the chimney? I don't know if it's a chimney. If it's a chimney, because that rope comes right down the middle. You know what I mean? And when that rope comes down the middle, it kind of looks a little more of like a well. But I know wells are round and everything else, but it looks more like a well to me than anything else. And everything. You know, Brooke, I think the biggest clue in it, and I put it in my video, is the Edgar Allan Poe Raven poem that was behind Toby's head when he was in the hospital. I think that's the biggest clue that was put in there, because there's no reason for that poem to be on that wall at that time like that. No reason. And what that poem represents is how people deal with grief, and how grief and loss can drive people into madness. And I think that's what's going on here, that these people are being driven and pushed, as Jim said, pushed to their limits to see how they respond to this. And that's what I think is going on here. Oh, it says, let's go through this right here. Right? It says, yeah, wherever they are from, fairy, mound, mythology, alien simulations, and north or Celtic gods, putting them in another realm, time, or moves. Again, yes, I agree that, you know, it could be any of these things, and I do believe that in the end, it is all just about how these people deal with the situations that they're being put in. And that's it. The boy in white, don't trust him. I'm not saying to trust him at all. I'm just saying that all we've seen so far is him do good things. Doesn't mean he is good. That's all we see. The scene so far. We know nothing else about him. The fact that they put him in white, and I said this from season 1, was suspect. That they put him all in white to make you believe that he's good. And they're trying to push the fact that he's good by putting him in all white, which is suspect to me. And I said that if you look at my first video, look at my video from season 1, who was the boy in white? Go look at it, and you'll see that exactly what I said, that, you know what I mean, that there is something going on. But there's been a lot of people being plucked from different times and places and everything else here. So that is what it is. I think Victor is the boy in white. So, Jackie, so we just went through it, right? A little bit here. And I don't want to pull up the pictures again. I'm scared to pull up pictures right now. But in the opening credit scene, right? In the opening credits, right from the back, right? We see Victor, a picture of it looks like Victor dressed as the boy in white. Right in the opening credit scene, we see that, right? It starts with the shorts and it goes up to the face, and it definitely looks like Victor. Now, we hear that the name of the character of the boy in white is Victor, right? So Victor, it could be Victor is the boy in white, and it's just rough for me to see that Victor that boy in white grows up to look like Victor. I don't see it. But if it's an alternate dimension type situation, and then it would explain everything 100%. That's the way I could see it. So we'll see how it goes and everything else. Again, I'm going to try to get this person on later on this week. You kept saying Victor has a drawing of the boy in white. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, in your video, you kept saying Victor has a drawing of the boy in white. Yeah, I did. I say that in the video. I think it's obvious. If you look at that one right in the beginning, that's a picture of Victor dressed as the boy in white. No doubt about it, So if he is, then that is what it is. That's the way it goes. What up to Carla Wade in the building? What's the howdy folks in there, rocking all the way from the land down under. Probably like 8 o'clock in the morning, or maybe 6, 7 o'clock in the morning for her right now, 7 around. So thank you for joining us. That would explain why the boy in white doesn't speak to Victor. It would explain, but the boy in white did ask Victor to come, and he's on the merry-go-round, and Victor's as a child is staring at him, and he's coming and calling him, and then he just disappears and leaves him there. I mean, that would explain why, if the boy in white is the reason why he's getting him all the peaches. Listen, if I see that damn boy in white eat a peach, then we already know. But I mean, the fact that the name of the character is Victor, I mean, it's pretty telling. I don't know what else you could take from it. I don't think we could take much more than what we actually seen there. You know what I mean? I would think that it would have to be. It has to be that. There's no other way to look at it. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. It has to be some type of boy in white equals Victor. And if Victor is the boy in white, then what does that actually mean for the show? Michael Parker, thank you for the super chat. And he says, hey, bro, you missed my episodes ago. I asked if the talismans worn around your neck would allow you to walk amongst the creatures. I do not believe so. I'm sorry that I missed it. It's hard when there's a lot of questions going on. It's not purpose. But I do not believe so. I don't think I thought about that before. I don't think they work, because Boyd said that he said that something's going on here. The talismans worked in the RV, and he had no idea if the talismans was going to work. What we've seen is talismans, when he's inside of the tent, they can't be on the ground. They have to be hanging up. If they touch the ground, somehow it doesn't work. It has to be up. And he was afraid. And when he had the nightmare dream, Jim pulled the talismans down. It was in Jim's hand. That's where the monster was able to get through. So for that reason, I would think that the talisman would not work if you rocked it around your neck. I don't think that would work at all. Thank you again for the super chat, but that's the only reason why I don't think it would work. Yeah, it's just past 9 a.m. here. Had to sleep as it's a public holiday. Now enjoying the stream with coffee in bed. Top of the morning to everyone. Top of the morning to you. And again, happy Easter to everybody. Hope everybody had a good Easter dinner or brunch. Hope you got to spend time with your family and your friends. And if you had kids, you did some Easter egg hunting. Me personally, I went outside, and there's a trail out here. We have a bike trail out here where people walk on the bike trail and everything. And I took $50 and I put $50 in single bills in eggs along the bike trail when I went for my walk this morning. So hopefully a bunch of kids, when I was on my way back, I seen a family with some kids, and they had found some and stuff. So hopefully all the kids go out there and they find the money. And they had a good Easter egg hunt out there, but I stuck them out there, $50 worth of eggs out there for the kids and stuff. So Hopefully, no grown ass men pick them up. But hey, you put them out there, you don't know who's gonna do it. But it is what it is and stuff. That's just what it goes. So we'll see what hopefully everything else in the goes like that. And all that good stuff and everything else. So yeah, that's just what it is. I did an Easter egg hunt in my backyard, Jackie. See, that's great. That you did that. That's great. And it has I'm gonna say it there. He paid the kid $50 to find you. Wow, listen. And hopefully they did. Hopefully they did. Yep, it's me. If you asking me, what I didn't do anything special. I live alone. I'm by myself, so it's just another day. I woke up. I went to the gym. I worked out. I came back. I did my my walk. I did that, and I put the eggs out there, and then I came back, and that was it. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? So that's all I did. That's all I done. I don't do anything special. There's nothing special here. I'm alone. I'm alone. Single. I'm alone, and that's it. And I have no family up here immediately where I'm at. So it's just what it is. But it's all good. I just have it's all good. I had a good time. That's why I rock with y'all. That's why I'm here rocking with y'all. I had a good chance to clean my apartment up and everything else and get everything into order and everything else and all that good stuff. Well, hopefully I will get married one day. We'll see. What up to my brother Mandrell coming through here and everything else? I'm not saying that I don't have. I'm not saying I don't have options. Just because I'm single, it's not like I'm single by choice. I have options in life. You know what I mean? But in the end, I think when it comes down to, I'm going to end the stream in a second. But in the end, it comes down to this: you have to be happy with yourself before you can make anybody else truly happy. And I'm good with myself, but I'm not truly there yet, and so I'm working on me and making myself the best me that I could be. And then when I am the best me that I could be, then I'm sure that everything else will fall into place and all that good stuff. I'm not going to rush anything. Just that don't work out. I'm gonna get to know people first. People are scandalous, and you just don't know. Think you know people, but people be shisty and shit. You know what I mean? So no, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and just hanging in there. I want to thank everybody for coming out here, rocking with us. Be back again Wednesday. And Phil will be here on that stream Wednesday. We'll be able. If you left any messages on the line, I'll play them on Wednesday and everything else, and we'll have something else like that. As Jackie said, same. Working on myself before I get into another series. Like exactly, that's what you gotta do. You gotta love yourself. Back Wednesday with another one. Maybe we can get this chick to come on here. We'll see. I'll talk to her again. I think she just fell asleep. She's in Germany. It's midnight there. She's a nurse and everything else. So I'm sure that's what happened. She just passed out and everything else. Even though she's the one who said this time, was not going to bring her on. So I would have did it earlier and stuff. But that's just what it is. But hopefully we get her in there. Everybody, thank you for joining me. Thank you for all the support that you show me. Thank you for the super chats. They help more than you know. And thank you for everything else like that. Shoot your shot with Pega. She's a little tiny for the dime. She's a little tiny. Go watch the video. You see, maybe I did. Thank you, but you're a little tiny. I'm a little bit more, substance to it. All right. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up the video. Spread this across the room. Again, if you ain't subscribed to the channel, please do. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and